3 times Brendan Rodgers has had the chance to stick it to his successor Jurgen Klopp and Liverpool since he was sacked as their manager in October 2015. 3 times he has come up short, and miserably so. Despite coming so close to ending their top flight title drought in 2013-14, which Klopp eventually did last season, Rodgers' reputation at Anfield was hit. That spat with Raheem Sterling played out on an ill-fated 2012 TV documentary, and the failed signing of Mario Balotelli are just 2 examples. At the first sign of trouble, the club sacked him and has had to restore his reputation, first at Celtic and now Leicester. Fast forward to now though, and Rodgers is 0,3 against his former employers. The Foxes were outplayed at Anfield in October 2019 but almost escaped with a draw before James Milner's stoppage time penalty sent a raucous home crowd wild. Twice since it has been a procession for Liverpool, to the tune of 7 goals scored to 0 conceded. Leicester were obliterated at home on Boxing Day in 2019 as the freshly crowned world champions returned home to reassert their domestic dominance. And in November, Leicester were routinely dispatched on Merseyside, despite coming into the game top of the table. Klopp was effusive in his praise of the champions that night. "It was very satisfying, because we deserved it 100% and the boys played an incredible game against a top opponent. Playing like we did tonight, I don't take this for granted. The boys were on fire, football-wise, played and played. Jamie Vardy was much deeper than even last season, so that made it more tricky, as we had to bring Gini Wijnaldum into possession as well. How the whole team defended from the front was incredible. We should have scored more goals, and that's a top sign for a good game." But Rodgers will know ahead of this Saturday's lunchtime showdown, that he has never had a better chance yet to break his duck against his former employers, against whom he hasn't enjoyed success since his final game in charge of Swansea in May 2012. There will always be the what if with his spell at Anfield. They were top of the league with 3 games remaining in 2013-14 but blew it. From a micro-management point to he was criticized in some of his methods. At the start of the 2012-13 season, Rodgers copied a Sir Alex Ferguson mind game used almost 20 years beforehand, and it backfired as Liverpool went down 3-0 on the first day of the season. But then, Red's boss had shown his team 3 envelopes and said inside were the names of 3 players who will let us down this year. Ferguson had done this in 1993 to ensure his squad did not let their first title success in 2 decades go to their heads. However, he later revealed the envelopes had been empty. The manager's talk did not seem to win over Steven Gerrard, who watched on with his head propped up by his arms. A year later, Rodgers revealed there were never any names in the envelopes. Rodgers will hope that Liverpool players are left with a similar feeling on Saturday afternoon at the King Power Stadium. After sticking 7 past Crystal Palace and confirming a 3rd successive Christmas at the top of the table, Jurgen Klopp's side have collapsed. Injuries have caught up with them and confidence has disappeared during a relentless run of fixtures. They have lost 4 of their last 7 and now find themselves in a battle for 4th, with Manchester City running away with the league title. Leicester are 3 points ahead and starting to seriously believe that they can gatecrash the top 4 this season, after coming up agonizingly short last year. Building on an impressive win over Chelsea last month with a positive result and performance against Liverpool could be just the fillip Rodgers needs to stop his Leicester side from imploding for a 2nd successive season. The Foxes' form has, however, been curious. With every eye-catching victory there is the odd-startling one. West Ham, Aston Villa, Fulham, Everton and Leeds have all come away from the King Power with 3 points this season. Teams who come to play against Leicester tend to get room to enjoy themselves. And Liverpool, who have encountered such difficulties against low, block bottom of the table sides, could well enjoy that freedom. Jamie Vardy's return to fitness is a boost. He built on his half-hour cameo at Wolves last week with a start against Brighton in the FA Cup. He is yet to score this year, last finding the night in victory at Tottenham before Christmas, but the rest he has had could prove vital in recharging his batteries. In his absence, James Maddison and Harvey Barnes had really come to the fore. Both are outside bets to force their way into Gareth Southgate's Euro squad. Maddison is in his best run of form since the first half of last season, while Barnes is beginning to come of age. His rampaging runs from deep are becoming a regular fixture in Leicester games. Youri Tielemans has been quietly excellent throughout the season, and Rodgers is a big fan of his consistency. He is 23 years of age, but if you watched him you would think he was 28 or 29, Rodgers told Sky Sports. He has got a wonderful football brain. For a player of 23, I trust him in the game. Tactically, he is so strong. Technically, he can play fast because his vision is so good. What we have talked about a lot with him is the physicality of the Premier League so that we can demonstrate his qualities more. As he has adapted to the Premier League and the speed of the game, you just see his football. It is sensational. He is competitive and can compete physically now. That has taken that bit of time because of the speed of the game when you come in from Europe. It is a totally different intensity. Wilfred Ndidi's first team return in midweek was particularly well timed. He played an hour against Brighton, and Rodgers will be keen to have his relentless energy in the middle of the park against Liverpool. Rodgers knows he has the players to upset Liverpool. The bigger barrier is perhaps himself, and getting one Liverpool and, particularly, Klopp. It has been a hard season for the German, who as well as his side's faltering title bid is grieving following the death of his mother. For Rodgers to finally beat his former club, whatever the form and makeup of Klopp's side, would be the surest sign yet that he is on his way to creating something special at Leicester, and exorcising the demons of last season.